Ay, ay, ay.
Where's that one?
I'm gonna okay. She came back.
All right, now we're ready to go on YouTube. All right, we should be all set, Abraham.
Put up a flag.
Mayor, just this.
I'm here.
Okay. Can I be ready whenever you're ready?
Okay, let's begin. Do we have a lot of people on?
We have 18 participants in total, including the board and administration.
Okay, great. All right, let's begin.
Okay.
Put up a flag.
Yep. Just a moment.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag
to the flag of the United States of America,
and
to
to the
one
republic
nation,
which
Just
stands
under God,
one nation
under God,
under God.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to let everybody know, because of some situation, I'm going to be on for about half an hour. I don't think that we have a long agenda. Hopefully we can get everything done. As you can see, I'm in my car. I have to leave in about half an hour or so. If I need to stay, I'll probably stay, but let's see how far we can go. Abraham, you're the host?
Either myself or Brian.
Okay, so go ahead, start.
Okay, sure. So the first item we have on the agenda is the 18 Burberry Lane. It's a request for a refund for permit fees. This request came in front of a board in the last meeting. Basically, a very fast explanation of it. They applied for the permits. They went in front of the various boards. They received their permits. They applied for the building permit. The building permit was never, however, issued. And then the pandemic hit and they are requesting for their fees to be refunded. I'm just going to run through the fees. The total amount of the fees that they paid was $11,058. This includes 50% of the building permit fee, finished basement, and the pavings, and a single family dwelling fee for 2988 square feet. Steve and I had this conversation. We went through it. There was some time spent on it. It's up to the board if they want to issue the refund. The code, as the council can mention as well, it just states that upon the issuance of permit, the board can no longer give a refund. However, in this case, we did not issue the permit for the building. So that would leave the decision up to the board. The suggestion that
go ahead.
The suggestion that the superintendent of building has is a 50% refund for a total of $5,530.
All right, so I believe that all the other boards that they went to, if they did, those fees were paid in full, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I do believe that it's a fair adjustment by the building inspector. I'm sorry, building superintendent. I would put that for vote for the board. Does everybody agree with the 50% return permit, the requested permit fees to be returned to the?
I think it's fair.
I agree.
Bart? I agree.
Yeah.
Two agree. Annie?
I agree as well.
Okay, very good. So, Peter, do we need to take a vote?
Yes, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there any objections or abstentions?
None.
It's unanimous.
All right. Thank you. Next.
Mrs. Cohen, please call me tomorrow. We'll take care of the refund, okay? Thank you. The next item on the agenda, you are muted, so we can't hear you. The next item on the agenda is a request for a road opening on 140 Station Road. This is also a returning applicant. The property is located in Village of Kings Point. However, their engineers have had it planned that it should be connected to a sewer system of Great Neck through Northgate Road, which is at the back of the property on 140 Station Road. But the street is in the Village of Great Neck.
Can I say something?
I'm not sure who is
I'm sorry,
speaking.
can I interrupt you for 1 second?
Is that Mrs. Cohen?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Mrs. Cohen.
Yes, I'm sorry, I was on mute and I'm trying, I just want to, first of all, thank you, gentlemen, for your very helpful and I appreciate it. 50% of 5,530, we're going to be getting back from you guys.
Yes, yes.
Correct. Just contact the village tomorrow and we'll give you a voucher to sign and we'll take care of it.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. Stay safe and healthy. And I can leave the meeting, right?
Yes,
Weekend,
you can.
right?
Yes.
Thank
Have
you
a good
very
night.
much. You too.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
And you can see this is the property, as you can see on, I don't know if it's not too small. If you see to the left of your screen, you'll see the Northgate Road. And the property is located on the top of the page. If you look at this page, you will see again the location where they want to tap into the sewer system. And this page just shows the logistics of it. And this is the aerial view of it. The property in the middle is 140 Station Road, and you could see the Northgate Road right to the left of it. The opening that they are suggesting, it's an 8x8, and it is about 8 by 8 by 8. That's what they are requesting for the opening. This is basically, this is upside down, by the way. It should be the other way because the road opening will be on the other side of the,
Right, that's what I thought.
yeah.
Okay. It is one of the things that I was thinking about, and I think I had a quick discussion. The roads that are paved in Village of Great Neck are paid by the taxpayers of Village of Great Neck. And the question is, if this is going to, in any shape or form, possibly weaken this sort of newly paved road. I believe the road was paved either 2 or 3 years ago. And if that's the case, there should be, obviously, I'm sure there's going to be some covenant escrow that is going to be placed. I do believe that maybe there must be a fee attached to this, just in case that a few years we have to actually do some more patching. And if that's okay with the board, we can let the building department to assess that fee. If obviously it's okay with the council to assess a fee toward the opening of this road that is coming from an unfettered resident.
As compensation for
Right.
opening the road.
Is that acceptable, Peter?
And if
Yes, it is. Be
Yeah,
done.
Ms. Harper, you want to speak?
I just wanted to let you guys know that we've certainly been talking about it since, there's not any intrusion into the paving as it stands now. that the conversation of doing a paving from curb to curb is in consideration. If
Uh-huh.
it would favor the board more.
I think
Okay. I
that
would
is better.
actually more than just an 8x8. Louis, is Louis on this call?
It's not.
No,
Louis is not on. Steve, I think I'm going to say you're the closest that it comes when it comes to the knowledge of the road. I do believe that if you do curb to curb, the
It's much
integrity of
better.
the road, right, it looks better, and I think the integrity is much better. So
Correct.
if that's the case, I would probably be okay with the opening, unless any of the other member of the board has any objections or questions to discuss.
I don't.
Well, what's
Okay,
the?
Are you okay? Are you okay with a curb to curb of about 8 feet wide, 8 feet wide, curb to curb, to be fixed?
And they'll put up a bond.
Well, the bond is going to be placed, obviously,
Right.
until they fix it, right? So, all right. So if that's the case, I'm okay with it. Annie?
What did you say about compensation? I thought you said that there was going to be some compensation to the village.
Right. So I was going to ask for a compensation. It was going to be an 8x8 or a 4x4 because that would weaken the road and also make the road a little bit less pretty. If it's going to be from curb to curb, the integrity of the road is maintained. At that time, I don't think that it's necessary for us to really get any kind of a compensation unless the board would like to say curb to curb and a compensation. But it's up to the board. I'm okay with no compensation unless someone has an objection to it. We can go ahead and.
My only thought is, is that, this could, repeat itself theoretically in other parts of our village. So.
Right. Well, then it's going to be either curb to curb, again, I think every road is going to be assessed separately, and the reason is this road happened to be a dead end road, and there's not so much traffic in that road. So the integrity of the road is probably maintained regardless. Obviously, if this is going to happen in a road that has more traffic and historic traffic, then this does not necessarily going to apply. And every case is going to be studied and decided on case-to-case basis. We have not changed the code, and I think this is we are neighbors, and we would like to help our neighbors if we can without really affecting our neighborhood. So with that, it's again, I leave it up to the board. I don't even see, is the applicant on?
Ms. Harper is the applicant. Yes, she's on.
Mayor, before the applicant speaks, may I just point out that your village code does provide for a permit for a street opening. And it provides that in addition to any fee that may be set by the Board of Trustees, the applicant would deposit escrow money to cover the cost of restoring the roadway, even though the applicant may be saying that he or she is going to do it themselves. You want to have either a deposit of cash or a performance bond, something that secures that, in fact, the roadway will be completed as per the plans and specifications they would submit at the time of the application.
Yes,
And-
that's absolutely right. That's true, and I think we took that as a matter of fact that they are going to provide the escrow.
Louis usually determines at the time what the escrow fees are.
Correct.
Does anybody on the board feel that we should charge some kind of a fee for the opening of the road?
You mean in the amount for an escrow, you're saying?
No.
No. In addition to the escrow.
As a fee
In
for
addition.
opening the road, as a fee for opening the road and patching it.
Well, if we
Something
normally,
nominal, maybe $2,500 or something like that.
well, I was going to say, if we normally charge for the opening of a road, then I would think that just for consistency that we would do so.
They still have to pay for a permit opening.
Well,
There is a fee
well,
for the opening.
Oh,
Right.
there's a permit fee for the
There
opening?
is a permit fee, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Right, so pay that.
It's
Sure.
it's very nominal,
What is it?
$200.
Huh. Okay. Well, okay.
Generally, your street opening being done by utility companies, which are quasi-public in nature. So it's up to the board whether you want to charge a fee or not.
I think again, as far as Bart's concerned, I appreciate his concern, and I say that I would like to say for the record that this is going to be decided on case by case situation based on the decision of the board. And again, I'm okay with setting a different fee, but if the fee is $200, then the fee is $200. If you want to say that it's a non-resident versus a resident, I don't know if that's
Listen,
something.
there's going to be some inconvenience to the residents on that street. You know, the street's going to be closed, or at least parts of it at a time. So
Right.
I think, you know, we should, you know, Ms. Harper, with all, I think, you know, I don't know what you typically pay in these situations, but I think a somewhat nominal fee of maybe $2,500 paid to the village would be appropriate. If somebody feels differently on the amount, that's fine. It's
Your
not.
volume is very low. It's hard to hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me better now? Can you hear me better?
No, it hasn't gone up much.
Do you hear me?
Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just coming off video because I'm holding the camera so close I might scare people. So I'm thinking that you know, a fee should be paid to the village just for inconveniencing the residents, and you are opening the road. That will be some damage, and even with the cleanup, it'll still be something. So I'm recommending a fee of $2,500 for the road opening, and my fellow trustees or mayor maybe have a different opinion.
I'm okay with that as well, but I would also definitely would like a curb to curb, as many other villages do as well. I don't like to weaken the road by an 8x8, which usually does happen. And I appreciate the applicants suggesting and offering a curb to curb. Is the applicant okay with the fee of $2,500 and a curb to curb fixing of the road after you're done with your connection?
I have to bring this back. I'm actually the document control manager, so I have to bring this back to the actual property owner.
Okay, so why don't you do that, and then if that's okay, I can ask Steve to approve it, and if it's not okay, then we can again after the board votes for it.
I have a quick question, Ms. Harper. Just have you come across this situation before?
No, never.
Oh, okay. So then you can't answer my next question. So, okay. So if you want to bring it back to the applicant, that's fine, or come back with something else, that's fine as well. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Mayor, would you like to approve this conditionally on the approval of the homeowner?
Yes, that's what I said. Yeah, I think it's okay. I mean, again, if the homeowner is requesting something else, that's fine. They can, he or she can come back to the board. But if they agree with the $2,500 that was suggested by the deputy mayor, they can go ahead, and if the board agrees with this suggestion, we can go ahead and give an approval pending on the acceptance by the applicant.
Can I get an email to that effect to share with the property owner?
I'll draft it tomorrow.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Ms. Harper. So did we vote on, can we vote on this for the
Peter?
minute?
Yeah, Peter?
Yes, I think rather than a roll call vote, which has not been working too well, can I just say, are there any objections by any board member or any abstentions by any board member?
No.
None.
Hearing none, unanimous vote.
Thank you. Abraham?
Yes, the next item on the agenda,
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
it's a request by a dance studio Confidence on Middle Neck Road that they are requesting for their anniversary. They are requesting a 2-hour road closure on Beach Road for September 7th, which is a Labor Day, from 9:30 through 11:30 a.m. Is the applicant present?
Right here. Hello.
Hi, Michelle.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Hi.
Would you
Okay,
like to?
so where is the beach is going to be closed from what to what? From Middle Neck Road to?
My studio is located on the corner of Middle Neck Road and Beach. Every year for my anniversary, we invite our participants for a giant masterclass with all of our instructors. We typically get about 30 to 40 people. So this year I'm at 33% capacity, which brings me down to about 10 people, if I count my instructors. And I had an idea of doing it outdoors, weather permitting, right in front of the studio, bringing out speakers and inviting the participants, the community. And I kind of want to make it into more of a family event to come and just see what Confidence is about, because we've been closed for 5.5 months. I just reopened, and I just want the community to know that we're still here and that we are still functioning and kind of celebrate. I feel like everything has been somber lately.
I think it's a great idea. The question is, if you're closing from Middle Neck Road, how far do you want the
It's
beach
just to the
be
park, it's just the width, the depth of the store, right, to the parking lot.
Well, it depends if it's Middle Neck Road or Beach
Yeah.
Road.
You can't
No,
close
Beach
Middle Neck Road. Yeah, we
Beach
can't close Middle Neck Road.
So it has to be beach.
It'll have to be
Right.
Beach Road.
So I would assume that it would go from Middle Neck Road up to the Great
Here's
Neck
the
Park
map.
District Beach,
Willow?
Up,
I think that's
right?
Willow?
Yeah, you can't go to the resident. The first resident is at 4 Beach Road. It's not fair to.
So I guess up to the Village Green or just before the Village Green.
The Village Green is there. I think you can go up to the parking lot behind Confidence.
Right. Well, my parking lot though opens onto
Beach.
a house.
No. No, your parking lot opens onto Beach.
No, my parking lot, so my storefront is Middle Neck Road. My parking lot is right behind.
So this
My
would
park-
be here, right? Can you
That's
see
what I'm
the?
saying, but you don't open onto a house. The house next to you is 4 Beach Road. You open up onto Beach Road. And I would say that, you could close Beach Road, but I would not go as far as the residence,
Okay,
okay?
Okay.
okay.
All right. I mean, I hope a lot of people come and get to know.
Do we have to let the auxiliary police know, or we should definitely let our parking enforcement?
Yeah, we do need to.
between the
We do need
parking-
to. Yeah, we do
Parking
need.
enforcement and DPW,
Right. I don't think we need to tell Nassau County. It's the Village Road.
correct.
Okay. All right. I'm 100% okay with it. Member of the board.
It would be, I
Are
just
there
want to
any
mention
objections?
that the music would be quite loud.
That might be a problem.
I just want to put that out there because it's dance fitness and we would have
9:30 to 11:30 on a Sunday.
Monday, Labor Day.
On a
Monday.
Monday.
We would start at 10. I just wanted to have the 9:30 so that, by the time people gather and kind of see each other, some of them for the first time in a long time.
All right, well, listen, I don't know how loud is loud. I mean, if it's not.
You have a
I'm
very
sure we
grumpy
can.
neighbor at 8 Beach Road, so just be careful.
I have a very what?
A very grumpy neighbor at 8 Beach Road.
Oh, boy.
You're talking to him.
Wow.
Yes.
Bart, maybe you can join the dance.
My wife will, if we're
Okay.
here.
Okay. All right. I really don't have a problem, but please try to be considerate as far as the noise go. It is the weekend.
You can't
I
use the
don't
park?
think anyone will be sleeping at 10 o'clock, but sorry. Hello, Bart?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't
okay.
hear that.
I
No,
asked if you could use the park, but I know the park's in disrepair, so,
Okay.
okay.
All right. So,
Anybody object?
Peter,
Steve?
any objection? or
Yes, are
abstain?
there
Sounds good to me.
abstentions?
No
Thank you.
abstentions, no objections. Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you. Just a question, Bart, is your wife Judy?
It is.
Ah,
Judy, yes.
all right, I know her.
Right.
All right, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm hoping to bring some excitement back into our village.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
The next
Mayor,
item,
I understand that resolution to only govern the street closure and not for permission to violate the village's noise local laws.
That's right.
Right.
Okay. Is there anything else on?
there is a couple more items, but if the mayor needs to leave, I believe we can handle it.
Okay. 5 minutes. Okay, tell me what are the two other,
The other,
two more
the next item is a resolution to pass a retention schedule for the New York local government records. There has been an update on it. There is not much that will affect the local government. However, I was on the call and they recommend that we pass a resolution accepting it. The items that are affected are the records filed by contractors, subcontractors with the village. The time that we have to hold them has changed. Assignment of real and personal property, the records for that, the time to the retention time has changed. Any building.
What does it change from what to what? What does it change to?
I don't have the exact years. So, for example, if it was 7, now it might be a couple years shorter or longer. I don't have the exact the changes in the years. However, these are the items that are affected. The other one is a building loan contract record that has changed. And the last one is a record subject to false claims actions. That's basically the 5 changes. And the New York Archive is recommending that all the local governments pass this resolution so they can use the new resolution. Although there's not much change, they still recommend that we adopt the new table for the retention.
I think they would like to make it more universal and okay.
Is there a motion to approve the state retention schedule?
I'll move it.
Are there any objections or abstentions to that motion? Unanimous.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
The next item is a request to put a stop sign on Hampshire Road going south, intersecting with Piccadilly Road. There were newly installed chevrons on both sides. However, there have been reports of near miss accidents that, God forbid, can cause harm to residents. Therefore, this request has been submitted to the village.
Come before us many times, so obviously there's an issue there, and I'll move it.
Second.
The motion has been made, placed upside. Are there any abstentions or objections to the motion?
None.
Hearing none, unanimous.
Thank you. By the way, I'm not a big fan of those chevron lights, chevron signs. It looks like, when you're going south on
Hampshire.
you see 2 signs pointing toward each other. And, I know that you probably see when you're going east on Piccadilly, but it's very funny that when you're going down, you see a sign going left and a sign going right, because one of them is saying go north, the other one says go west. But when you're driving down, as if the two chevron signs are going toward each other. I don't know if that's the clever way of doing it. Maybe we should put it on a different, if you're interested, but I don't think, if any of the members of the board would like to go check it, it looks a little bit funny.
I saw it.
Okay, anyway. Any objection?
No, the stop sign is a good idea.
Mayor, we can't hear you.
It's been passed unanimously.
Okay,
The next item is a request to put a refrigerating unit behind Bagel Hut at 503 Middle Neck Road. This is the same storage unit that they have been putting in the past few years. There's no difference from last year's. This is a sketch of where they are going to put it, which is exactly as last year.
I have
I'm
no
sorry,
objection.
sorry, Dave.
No objection.
No objection.
Any objection or abstentions?
How long is it for? I'm just curious.
This is through after the holidays. The exact date of it. Steve, do you have the exact date of how many days you're putting it up?
Me?
It's 7 days there on that.
No, I,
9/22 through 9/29.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
yeah, 9/29.
Okay.
That's fine.
1 week.
I'll move it.
Second.
Any objections or abstentions? Hearing none, unanimous.
The next item is a request for the waiver of building permit fees for a property located on 225 Middle Neck Road. Section A 583-29 of the Village Code allows for the waiver of the fees or reduction of it if it's decided by the village board. So basically what's happening in this property is Hartley Court is right next to this Hartley Court, I believe it's called. Hadley, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hadley Court is right next to this property, and it's here it is. The grade on Hadley is a little bit higher than the parking lot in the back of this 225 Middle Neck Road, and it causes that all the rain goes into the parking lot, and over the years it has caused erosion as well as flooding of the basement of the this property. They are requesting that now that they are going through with the repavement of the parking lot, and they're arguing that because part of the problem was caused by the village, that the fees to for the paving should be either waived or reduced at some degree, so they can pave the place.
How much is the fee?
It's $9,900, I believe, $80.
For the,
It's almost $10,000.
for a fee to leave?
Yes, it is $1 per square foot, and as you could see, it's a large parking lot. And that's why when the fees be added up, it comes out to be almost $10,000. It's worth mentioning that the paving of the whole place, it's about $38,000. And in addition to it, then they have to pay a $10,000 fee to the village.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd be in
You guys
favor.
hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. So I am, is the applicant here?
Mr. Beta? Mr. Beta, we can't hear you.
He's on mute, I think.
Mr. Beta, we can't hear you.
You're on mute.
No, he's,
Can't hear you.
Hear you.
something
Can
might,
you call in? Do you have the number to call in? Oh, what happened?
Calling in, I think. You want to do the minutes in the meantime?
There we go.
Is
Hold on.
there a suggestion by any of the member of the board regarding regarding this? I know that this water is going in from our road into their parking. That's what I was told.
I'm suggesting 25%, 75% reduction,
No,
Whoa.
$500.
we can't hear you, Mr.
Mr. Beta, why don't you call in with your cell phone? Oh, he disappeared.
No, he's still there. It looks like he's still there.
How about 25 cents a square foot instead of $1 so much? And it's our fault or whatever.
Well, I guess my question is, when was the last time that it was repaved, and do we have proof of what it looked like before versus now?
That's the question to the applicant.
I'm sending Mr. Beta. I'm sending you the phone number right now to call in.
Oh, okay, I believe he's calling in, so.
Okay.
The area also was surveyed this morning by the building department superintendent.
Yes, Louis and myself both went out there. We saw what's causing the drainage. It is a very large parking lot. They do have 5 of their own dry wells that are retaining water, and the water from Hadley, some water from Hadley does come onto the property. I don't think it's causing all of the flooding, but it does definitely increase the flooding, and it does run off onto their property.
With 50, do you, Steve, do you think 50% would be fair?
Hi, sorry about that. My apologies.
There's Michael.
Hi, Mr. Beta.
Hi, sorry about that. My apologies. I'm prepared to answer your questions. Sorry for the delay, and I thank you all for entertaining this application tonight.
Of course.
So Annie had a question. Trustee Mendelson.
When was the last time that the lot was redone? When was it last?
There was about a year ago or so, we did repair a portion of the lot, but it was a minor repair. This repair is going to be the entire parking lot. We've also explored the possibility of putting in an additional dry well. We currently have 6 dry wells. We would be adding an additional one, which to my knowledge will be an additional $5,000 cost to the synagogue. And we are also exploring, or we will also hopefully be cleaning out the current dry wells, which from what I understand is about $1,200 per dry well. So in total, the cost to repave the parking lot, the 10,000 square foot parking lot, will cost about $50,000 all in.
Wow.
My understanding at $1 per square foot for our approximate 10,000 square foot parking lot, that $10,000 cost, unfortunately, is so cost prohibitive. And if we are provided with some sort of discount on the fee, obviously we would use that money towards these costs, which I would just like to point out one thing, and I think it's important. Just last winter, we had a congregant actually injure themselves in the lot. They fell, and what happens during the winter is we have a buildup of ice from the water. During the summer, obviously, we have a buildup of water. So it's kind of a catch-22 for us, where we have an ice skating ring in the winter, we have a pool at times during the summer. And I don't mean to imply that this is always an issue. With the ordinary rainfall, our dry wells do capture the issue, but it's when you get the excess water coming down from Hadley Court, that's when we run into these issues. So the goal over here is to remedy it for our congregants, our neighbors. Overall, it'll just be a tremendous benefit to the entire congregation, and I believe the community as a whole. So I appreciate anything that the board could do.
So hearing what the applicant has said, and also the fact that a lot of the water that they get, or at least a portion of the water they get, comes from our road, I would like to agree with the suggestion of Trustee Hope. And unless the member of the board have any other suggestions, let's put this for the vote.
Can I just ask, what was the repair that you had done last year?
We just did a gloss over of some tar, but it was minor in nature. What this will be is basically we covered up some holes where it was a danger to people walking from their cars to the building. I guess you could say it was a Band-Aid of some sort, and this would be the major.
Mhm. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there a motion to approve the reduction?
I'll move it.
Second.
Okay. And are there any objections or abstentions to that motion?
None.
And we appreciate the work you're doing.
And
It's
could
really
you
helpful.
specify again for the record the amount that you are charging?
25 cents per foot.
Very good. I believe that was your motion, Trustee Hope.
Yes.
So the motion for 25 cents per foot rather than $1 per foot has been approved.
Very good.
Okay. So it's going to be
you,
about
Abraham.
Thank you to the board.
$2,500. All right.
Thank you all. I really appreciate it. And everyone stay safe and have a happy holidays.
Happy
you.
holidays.
Michael,
Thank
have a
you.
good night. Happy
Thank
holiday.
you.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Guys, I have to go, so I won't be here for the end, but I have read the minutes and I do agree. Have a great night, everybody. I'm sorry that I can't be for the public comments. I will talk to you guys later.
Happy birthday, Mayor.
Good
All
evening.
right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The next item on the agenda is the minutes of 8/18 board meeting. I'm going to put it up right now.
I'll move them.
Second.
Any objections or abstentions? Hearing none, the minutes are unanimously approved.
The next item is abstract for coming up 9/4/2020.
I read them over earlier and you answered any questions that I had. So I'm going to make a motion to approve the abstract.
Are there any abstentions or objections? Hearing none, unanimous.
Public comments?
Anybody has any public comments? You could, David, please unmute yourself. And just state your name and address for the record, please.
David Lenziger, 15 Beach Road. I have a couple of questions. As a result of the storm last month, is there an estimate of the extra costs by the village for overtime and equipment to remove all the debris and trees and stuff in the streets?
Deputy Mayor, may I answer? Deputy Mayor, can I answer that question,
Yes,
please?
you can. Yes, you can, Abraham.
The overtime was $22,000. The guy stayed almost 3 days with taking very little rest to remove it. The cost for the equipment, I don't have it. There were a few trees that were quite expensive that they fell on residents' houses. They had to be removed. For example, if you look at tonight's abstract, we have an $8,000 that we had to pay for one tree to be removed. So in total, quite expensive.
Yeah. Is that on Beach Road?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one from Beach.
35 Beach Road, I presume, near
Yeah.
me. And does insurance cover anything? Are we able
No.
to make any claims as far as insurance goes?
We cannot.
Okay, then my next question, in terms of the property for the new village hall, has that now come into the village's possession? And if so, is there an architect? Are there any plans for that yet?
You can answer, Abraham.
No, the only thing that we have, the mayor was authorized to sign the contract, and the down payment has been paid. There are environmental studies are being done. Once we have the environmental studies and everything is clear and we have a clear title when we can close, then we will be putting out a request for proposal for various needs of the village to get an architect and plans.
Thank you. I have another question. In terms of the numbers of businesses on Middle Neck Road that seem to be out of business, like Tech Prime and Bevanda and Sushi Fashion and Carvel and so on, is the village doing anything with the Chamber of Commerce or with any other groups to somehow find new tenants or businesses to come into these vacant spaces?
Can I answer that?
Sure.
Okay.
We'll let you.
Tech Prime went out of business, and so before COVID, and Carvel went out very early in COVID. However, they were heading in that direction anyway because they went to auction almost like the first or second week of the COVID shutdown. So those are not business shutdowns due to COVID. As far as the individual landlords getting tenants, we don't get involved with their process of seeking commercial tenants for their properties. And certainly there are vacancies up and down Middle Neck Road, as everybody's aware. And these are tough times, and it's going to take a little while for it to shake out for the, I guess, landlords and prospective tenants to find each other and assess their needs. But I think right now is kind of a questionable time. You know, I would like to say while we're here that a big welcome back, and we're very happy to know that 27 dressings reopened, and that's wonderful news. It's sad about the ones that we lost, and we're hoping that we get great tenants to come in, and you know, we wish those owners well.
Well, I mean, so does everybody, but I'm wondering, is there any kind of thing going on with the other villages, or trying to reach out perhaps to the banks in our village that provide commercial financing to some of the store owners and so on, to try to find new tenants? I mean, Dazzling Events is kaput. There are others that are out of business. I mean, is there anything that perhaps from the county or from the New York State that you might work with?
We'd be welcome to any ideas, but obviously, again, it's certainly not in the purview of the village government to get involved in finding tenants for individual, you know, property owners. That's really their business. We can't get involved in that. But you know, we'd be open to anybody who is interested in coming to our village to open a business. We think it's a wonderful place to open a business, and most of our businesses survived and are doing quite well. So,
no, it's good to see that some of that. And I'm also wondering that big renovation that's going on at the corner of Middle Neck and Hicks Lane, where the owner was hoping that a refurbishment might attract a commercial or retail tenant. Do we have any idea if they have such a tenant in the works?
We don't know.
And finally, as far as the building department is concerned, have any certificates of completion been issued for the swimming pools under construction?
There might have been one or two. There might have been one or two. If you call me in the office tomorrow, I could definitely tell you for which ones.
Okay. Thank you, Steve.
Anytime.
Thank you. Anybody else, public comment?
Feel free to unmute yourself for public comment. I see somebody just joined the meeting. If you'd like to talk, just unmute yourself. And there are a couple of callers here. If you'd like to speak, just unmute yourself.
Anything special happening at the before the next meeting?
Now, the next meeting will be after election, of the trustees election.
Okay.
Just for people out there, if anybody's interested, the absentee ballots will be ready tomorrow. If anybody needs an absentee ballot, they can always contact the village and we'll provide it to them.
Great.
Last call for any comments? Okay, I don't have anything else.
All right, move to adjourn.
Second.
See everybody in 2
Any
weeks.
objection? Hearing none, unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
Good
night.
night.
Good night.
Good night, all.